depends on. They are trained to do it consciously, just look at it. But when she's doing it, and when it goes well, and when she feels well with it, because you pace back, then then the subconscious mind takes over.
Yeah, then we have rapport and then she paces me naturally.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
The point where this happens is depending on what kind of person, what kind of personality. It's it's very funny when you have an NLP trained car salesman, and you look at him and you think, I love this person. I really love him. It's really weird, because if he's overtrained and he tries to pace some subtle signal, then you will see how there are things that begin to fight with him, because he tries to pace your, I love him. I really adore him. He's gorgeous. And his training says, pace it, it's wonderful, it's working, you will do your sales. Another part of his brain says, this doesn't make any sense, this is ridiculous. And pacing is just, because it's such a simple tool, it's just looking a little bit and trying to, and it's comfortable. But it is one of the steps when you begin to play with it, which brings you on the track of communication, which brings you on the track of playing around with psychology. And what you have to be aware of is this effect of reverse pacing also happens to you. So maybe you end up and selling him a car. So yes, okay. Still anyone left who thinks that trance is just happening to all the others? Or something absolutely non-natural? Because I don't have a really good other word for it. And not really, because what I'm really talking about is some kind of mixture. It's a mixture of feelings, a mixture of values, which means what is important for you in that situation, a mindset, that all together. And you can define trance in different ways if you need definitions, but to say that insecurity is defined as the need for definitions. But what trance is about, that you are in a state. The evil thing about it, and to change that viewpoint, is what if you are already in some kind of trance without knowing, without recognizing? Because normally you are not recognizing that you are in trance. You do not call it trance when you go to sleep. But in fact, you enter a very good, a very refreshing trance state. But you're not saying, I'm trancing, you're just saying, I'm going to sleep. But if you look at it, if you just recall that process, maybe where it is obvious is when you sleep in front of a TV. Because in front of a TV, what happens is that you see the TV and you get less and less interested in the TV, and you see how your vision changes a little bit. And once you close your eyes, you still hear the TV. It's still there. And you can still follow all the words. You hear everything that is in the room. You hear everything that comes out from the TV. But over time, and when you relax and relax more, then the voices from the TV sound different. And the interesting thing is that they sound a little bit nearer, but they sound different. And that the volume gets smaller. And that, in fact, is the point where you're sliding into trance. That are classical symptoms of deep trance, when your vision changes, when sound experience changes, and that's just normal sleeping. You are just relaxing and sleeping. And living or problem solving is just another form of state. If you're awake, you just change your state. So, if we say that trance is some kind of changed state, it's not easy to tell which kind of state is now not trance.
Yes, that was my problem.
Yeah, that is an overall problem. It has to do with some constructs in the human mind, where you think that you are completely free to do everything, and where you do not recognize your unconscious mind. That's why it's called unconscious mind. And there is a deep sense in it. This not recognizing it has a biological function. It is a function that is good for us living. And it's not possible to reverse it. You cannot say, I just want to learn everything about it and then doing it with my rational mind. There are two things you have to know. First thing is that your unconscious mind does a lot of work. And I mean really a lot. What you can do is with some tools like NLP, which is one of these nice things because it's very simple, you can try to grab your hand on some details, pull them out of your unconscious mind and say, okay, I'm now doing this small part with my conscious mind. The problem within is when you are communicating with people is that the human brain is trained to see it. The unconscious mind of every human is trained to see this fake. So once you go over some sort of line, you will be untrusted automatically by the other person. That is one. The second one is that you do not have the capacity, because your conscious mind then has to do all the work that normally is working in the conscious, in the subconscious mind, and it's like multiplying, like trying to get 4 times 6. If you do not switch into your unconscious mind, if you do not let go it in your unconscious mind, you have to do the work manually, which is much more work because it's not designed to do it. So you need your trance states every time.
Another example would be the concept of flow, which is a kind of. Do you want to explain it, or?
Just what kind of flow? Because
Like you can be on your laptop and hacking for hours, or in a very concentrated manner, which also is some kind of trance, but you are less conscious at doing it when you are in that state.
yes, of course.
It can be much more effective than trying hard to use the trying hard to analyze rationally what to do next when
What-
hacking. Or
What he said is that One example for this state is computer hacking. When you are really into computer hacking at this moment, and you can really hear it just from the sentence. I am now into computer hacking. I am in this. I have altered my state. It's the same like computer gaming. And you all know that time flies by if you are gaming on the computer or hacking. Hello. This is a signal. If you're awake from computer hacking or computer gaming or anything, 6 hours? I can't believe it. Greetings from your trance. You are switching into this mode to do it more effectively. It's not control. Trance has nothing to do with losing control. It's just doing things more effective. What was this your?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I want to make a suggestion. In German, do you feel, do you think you could make a demonstration of therapeutic use of NLP?
Yes, of course. You wanted to do something that is more therapeutical use of P. Would you?
Because I have something in mind, and then people in German could see it in a more practical use.
We could do it in English also. If you have an practical idea and someone who wants to explain it.
Right, but I think if I would do it, I mean, if I, as the client, my English is also not so good, and
Mhm.
then it's more harder to
Okay.
get into that situation, to get in the trance when you can demonstrate it.
Okay, I see your point, but for our English listeners, what I can do is I just throw in another 2 or 3 things about trance and communication, and then I could show some NLP routine just for a little bit relaxing, because it's now, I think, 3 o'clock. Most people came in here from their lunch, and it's wonderful to relax a little bit when you have something in your stomach. And we'll see a little bit about what you can do with NLP for yourself, and it's a nice tool. And after that, we could do something over there in a room or as a. Yes, a question? Sorry? I will repeat it.
Well, it would facilitate things. It would have the mind. So there must be one.
Yeah, there is one on the way.
Click clack. Yo. I just remembered a book I read about a monk who was studying medicine in ancient Tibet, and they had these very advanced memo techniques. What you said, you have to go into your mind to remember things, and they have to digest all this knowledge about these healing plants and these holy scriptures, and they made it that they concentrated months and months just on image of a big room, like a big, huge library with a lot of lockers. So, and when he learned something, he just made kind of a picture of this document or the things he had to learn it and put it in one of these lockers.
Yes, that's very effective.
And this, so they could manage this vast knowledge, because they do not have to know all this in the conscious, but they could go to this image room, into this virtual room, and just put it out the lockers. They just had to know where it's stored.
That's very effective. Lockers or a wall of lockers is maybe not so effective, but one trick is trying to spread these documents in your hometown. So you imagine yourself walking to your hometown and collecting all the documents while learning. So while learning, you spread it out, and you do it always the same